Hey, this is Professor Homa. Welcome to EX03 Iron Pigs. This will be a baseball-themed Excel exercise that will allow us to do some formatting. We'll add and delete cells, rows, we'll do some sorting, and we'll write some formulas. The files that you're going to need are the instructions. This is what the instructions will look like. There's about 20 steps on here, and I'm going to go through them. Also, you're going to have a sample, and I'll double click on this sample and it'll open up in Acrobat or one of your programs that'll open up PDF files, and it's just a screenshot of the finished product done in Excel. And just to give you an idea of, this is a minor league baseball team, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, near where I live. We're gonna format this with the colors. We're also gonna do these last three columns here, the on-base percentage, the slugging percentage, and batting average. And to get started, we're going to go back and open up our Excel file, which you'll be able to download. And I'm going to double-click to open it up. And this is what it'll look like to start. And you may even have to scroll across to see all the different columns. We're going to delete some columns. We're going to do some sorting to get started, and we'll make it look like this file when we're all finished. And it won't take long. So there's only 20 steps on the sheet. I'm going to go through those as quick as I can. So we're going to start off with number 1. We downloaded it. Number 2 is delete players that played in 10 or less games. You might say, what is he talking about? But here's G, games, and we're going to get rid of players that only played in a couple games. Now, to do that, instead of just going to just try to find these ones that are less than 10, what we're going to do is we're going to sort everything. So I'm just going to highlight everything that I have here. You could highlight everything, and we're going to do a sort. And we can go over here to sort, and we're going to go to custom sort. And we're going to sort by, it's going to ask for column, and we're going to go to column G, and it's going to say smallest to largest, and we'll hit OK. And that'll sort everything, and you'll see the first 6 are going to be players that have games less than 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these. And these are actually guys from the major leagues who came down and played on the minor league team for a couple games during their rehab. And we're going to highlight over here right on the row numbers, and I'm going to highlight right through there. There should be 6 of them. And if I highlight on the rows, to delete these rows, I'm going to go over here where it says cells, and I'll just hit delete. I'll just hit this button once, and that gets rid of them. Okay, also what we're going to do, I'm going to highlight all these players once again. Okay, and this is number 3. We're going to sort the revised team order, and we're just going to put it in alphabetical order. And I'm going to do the same thing here, except this time I'm just going to sort A to Z. And you can see it's still keeping this Mike guy first. So let's just highlight everything that we have here. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to sort A to Z. And it should put this Andre Blanco first. I think that's his name. And he's going to be first on here. So we're going to sort these players. And notice it doesn't sort last names. Because they're all in the same cell, it's actually sorting first names. So it's going from Andre to Cesar, Cody, Dietrich. Down at the bottom there's Tug. Kind of an old school baseball name. Alright, but that's just the way we're going to sort it here. If we needed to do it by last name, we'd have to put them in separate cells. So that's number 3, just sorting the revised team so that Andre Blanco's up top. The next step, number 4, it says adjust the column width of A to 16. Now we can do this, I'll click off here, I could do this by going in between here and A, just dragging over, and I could just kind of manually see where 16 is and do it that way. The other way to do that, I could go in column A and I could go to Format, Column Width, and I could put 16 in there. And it already has 16, so I'm going to hit OK. So that's long, and remember that's 16 characters, and that's long enough to show all the names that are in here. And that's number 4. Moving on to number 5, we're going to change the column widths of all the other ones, B through T. So all these columns up here, I'll highlight the letters up here, not the cells, but the letters all the way going as far as I can go, all the way to T. I'm going to highlight all those, and I'm going to change the column width of these to be 6, and that's 6 characters. And on a Mac, you could do like something like 0.6, maybe similar to that. So again, I'm going to go to Format, column width, and I'm going to just put in 6, and I'll hit OK. And that'll make everything kind of fill in our screen a little bit nicer. And number 6 says that we're not going to do anything with these last 2 columns here. So I'm going to just highlight these columns just by highlighting the letters, and I'll just hit delete and get rid of those last. So we're going to finish up with OBP, SLG, and AVG, which is batting average, slugging percentage, and on-base percentage. And we're going to figure out the values for these columns, and we're going to do some formatting to make it look nice. So that was the last thing we did was number 6. We're going to move on to number 7, which was inserting a row above here. So if I click on row 1, I'm going to insert a row above, and I could just go over here and just hit insert, and it should always do a row or a column before the one you're at. And in this first cell, A1, I'm just going to type in 2012 Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, and you could do Iron Pigs as one word, batting stats. Alright, that's our title. Now to make this show up across the top, we're going to do a merge and center. So I'll do A1 all the way through R1, and I'm going to do a merge and center, and there's a button right here to do merge and center. And there it's merged and it's centered, and while I still have this cell highlighted, I'm going to format it so that it's 18 point Cambria. Here I made it Cambria first, but then I'll make it 18 point, and I'll make it red. I'll just use a standard red, and I'll make it bold. And I'm even going to adjust the column or the row height. I'll go down and make it about 30, so I could do that manually. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm also going to align the content in this cell vertically. You can see right now it's kind of aligned on the bottom. To align that vertically, there's alignment tools right here, and you can see this one's on the bottom. That one says bottom align. We're going to do middle align, and that just bumps it up a little so it aligns. So even if I made the cell this big, you could see it kind of aligns in the middle of the cell. So I'll put it back at around 30, or close to it. And that's our heading. So that was number 8. And now number 9, I'm going to highlight this row 2 all the way across to R where it ends. And I'm going to make the background, I'm going to use the paint bucket, I'll make the background like this dark blue. And then while I'm still on that cell, I'll make the type white. And I'll make the type bold so it stands out nicely. And then I'm also going to do the bottom right below here. I'm going to go all the way across just to have kind of a border at the bottom. And I'll do the same thing. I'll just fill it with dark blue. There's no content in there, but it just makes a nice border at the bottom. So that's number 10. And I'm going to do number 11 right now. And number 11 is going to be center align the cells B2 through R28. So that means all these cells. Now I'm going to leave the player ones alone, but all of these I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to center all my information. So I'm going to make sure I use this one here. Just center, just like we do in Word. Just center align, and that's all we're going to do there. And then number 12, we're going to start writing some formulas. So I'm going to take a break here, and then part 2, we're just going to do all the formulas.